This objective is called sending or lunging. They're two different exercises and they look a lot alike, but they will have slightly different purposes. Sending is going to be the act of standing in the middle of the circle in your round corral or in the field while your horse travels in a circle around you. You don't actually turn with the horse. You just ask the horse to go, and as long as they're doing their job, you allow them to do their job. You release that pressure. Lunging is a little different. You'll actually walk with the horse, kind of driving them out of your space as they're going in the circle. So regardless of which one you're doing, they do have different purposes. They both have the same phases of pressure. The first phase of pressure is to point your finger. It's very simple. Once again, we're just asking the horse to move with the lightest pressure possible. So we always start gentle and move to more assertive through our pressures. So when you point your finger, you're asking the horse to either go to the left or you're going to point to the right for him to go to the right. If that doesn't work and the horse doesn't comply, maybe doesn't understand, we have to increase that pressure on the opposite side of the horse of what we're pointing to. All right? So if we're pointing to the left, we're going to add pressure to this right side of us, to the horse's left side, to drive them that way. Okay? So we're going to actually do that by swinging our stick in that direction, just popping the ground, creating that environment that they naturally want to move away from. So remember, the first phase is to point, second phase is to swing your rope or your stick in that direction, and then the third phase is the most assertive phase, and that's where we actually make contact with the horse, and that phase is called pop. So you're going to pop the horse on a certain part of their body. We have to be very particular about which part of the body we access with our stick or our rope. So I'm going to show you those now. So if I just ask Shire to move over so you can see, I'm using driving pressure here. Turn on the haunches. Okay, you have three parts of the horse that are important. The first part is between the halter, the back of the halter, to the front of the shoulder, anywhere here on the neck. So if the horse is facing me, if Shire's facing me, and I want her to turn and go to my left, if she's facing me, I'm going to actually make contact here to move her head that way. There's an old saying, wherever the nose goes, the feet will follow. So if I can turn Shire's nose in a certain direction, her feet are going to go that direction. They're going to travel that way. So we use the neck to turn the horse. This is usually the first phase of getting your horse out on a send or a lunge in a circle. Now the next part of the body that we utilize is from the back of the shoulder to the center of the barrel. Anywhere in this area. So if I swing here, usually I'm going to use this place of the body. If Shire or if my other horse I'm training, if they're already broadside and already on the circle and I want them to speed up, I can actually swing here. Now remember, all of these buttons that we put on the horse are buttons that we've created for purpose. We've actually put these buttons here for other reasons as well. So if you think about when you get on and ride your horse, where do you put pressure on the horse to get them to go forward? Here in the same spot, right? You squeeze your legs in this area. So whether you're on the ground using a stick in this area or your legs, it's always going to mean kind of go forward, move out. All right? So we can increase our speed here. Now after we've done a series of circles and we want our horse to turn, face us, and come back to that first position we started with, we're going to utilize the hip here. This is where some of our training from before, from driving pressure, comes in handy. It helps out with sending. So all we have to do at that point is bend and look at the hip from right here in the middle of our circle. The horse will turn her hip away, face us, and then we're back to square one again. From there, we could change directions and go the other way. So that's sending or lunging, and those are the three phases of pressure that we use as a trainer. Now the horse also has three responsibilities. She has things that she has to do as well for this relationship to work when we're asking her to go in a circle. The three responsibilities that the horse has are what she doesn't have right now. There she comes back. Attention. See, if we're asking the horse to move and we're using primarily our body language to communicate with the horse, if she's not looking at us, she can't know what we're asking. So that's the first thing that we have to have is her attention. She has to be watching us, watching our body language. The second responsibility that she has is the correct direction. So if I point to the left, she needs to go to my left in a counterclockwise pattern. If I point to the right, she needs to go to the right in a clockwise pattern, okay? So if you're not attaining that, you have to work on those things specifically, and then maybe come back to your sending again. Get your horse to move out in the proper directions. All right, so that's her second responsibility. Her third responsibility is going to be speed or gait. And whenever you get more specific with your training with your horse, even the rate or the speed of the gait. So that would be the walk, the trot, the canter on the lunge line. All right.